All right, we're gonna start tearing this truck apart, guys. I've got to pull the turbo pedestal. Should be fun. All right, so we're gonna be pulling the charge pipe over here. I heard some guy call it a cack pipe. I'm like, what the hell is a cack pipe? Something like slang for phallic or something. So we'll have to pull both of the charge pipes, the airbox pipe, the lines to the actuator, the heater, the map stuff, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm planning on probably plugging the ebpv since that's what's leaking, and just go return all the Amazon stuff because they look like they're going to fit real poorly. So it's going to be dirty and messy. I just started the truck, just moved it, so didn't move it real far, so it shouldn't be too warm. And I don't think it needs to be really like warm, so we'll have to get in here, and we're gonna need like an 11-meter deep socket, maybe something like that. Drop the exhaust side, and if we do go do the non-Amazon route, we'll have to weld up the flap or leave it. You know, another thing too, which actually could be kind of cool, is people turn these into an exhaust brake. So you can rebuild the ebpv, but I don't think I need an exhaust brake, do I? But it would be kind of neat. So let me get this torn apart. Get that one off. So yeah, 11mm does work. The other one is down here. Let's get that one. That one. Now I've already welded this pipe once before, and I think I have another one that came off of another truck, and I might actually swap it. Look how close all this stuff is. They set these trucks up for like failure to rub themselves to death. You really do. It's crazy. And that's what happened to this one. It rubbed through the charge pipe. Another thing we got to do, we have to undo the battery, because we're going to be messing around over there where there's the heater and all that other stuff, and it's got power to it. There's solenoids. So we'll pull the battery negatives, put them up out of the way, just tuck them in down here, get that done. Trust me, I've cut corners before and ended up like, oh no, sparking a wrench across the terminal of an alternator or something, you know. So I'm not buying these batteries from dude anymore. Well, he's not going to be selling them anymore. My old work had these batteries, and I don't know what the real story on them was. Supposedly he has, like, you know, a big contract with the power company, the police department, providing vehicles for their batteries. So basically the Group 65s are in all the heavy duty vehicles. Wouldn't be in any of the police cars, but maybe the fire department might have a few. And I guess if they had problems with them, then they'd warranty them, and then they'd get them, and they'd say, there's nothing wrong with this battery, they just left the door open, you know, or something. Well, supposedly it was that, and batteries that had sat on the shelf for 6 months too long and didn't sell, and they called them a blem. This one doesn't actually have the sticker on it, but he would sell them for $39. I mean, it's hard to beat. But I'd get a year or two out of them, and that's it. So from now on, I buy them at Walmart. They're $79, and they look like they're the same. We got those off of here. Now we gotta start pulling stuff. I've already pulled the charge pipe. I don't know how much of that I need to get out of the way at first. We're gonna need to disconnect all this shit going to the turbo. Probably pull all that. So this is like my main reason Well, I really don't want to do this truck. You see that? I mean, I bet you this thing's, if I do this properly, this thing's gonna be down for a minute. You saw that oil? So, yeah, we got oil in the system big time, which is probably coming out of the turbo seals. All right, pulled that pipe out of there. We're gonna try and get the boot off of here and that. I can't remember. Let's see if over here. Yeah, we'll have to pull that bracket. Well, that's pretty nasty looking. We'll have to pull that bracket, and then we can get that to clear. You don't want to take off that other thing. And we'll come in here and pull that out real carefully. We'll have to get the other one right here, and then we'll get these bolts out of here, and this bracket should come out. I'm actually probably tighten that back down because I don't want it to come off. I want it to stay exactly where it's at. All right, so I just pulled straight up on it and then pulled it off the turbo. It's pretty easy. So far we're 6 minutes into it and we're this far. So we gotta get the boots down here. We gotta get some of the other stuff here first. But yeah, I mean, like, if you've done these before, you can probably bang them out probably pretty quick. I bet somebody that was good could do it in 15 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna get that one loose there. My damn ratchet doesn't want to ratchet. I need to go get my other ratchet probably. Would be nice to have a little small electric air ratchet. Or not air, but electric. I don't like using air anymore because I don't work at a shop no more. So all my air tools are just kind of sitting there. I can use them if I want, but I'm not gonna get much faster. Okay, let's get that bolt out of there. And you want to be like kind of careful of this one down here. It goes into this and joins it, and it goes to the wastegate. So we need to get that up out of here. Thankfully these lines are not like all freaking brittle yet. So we get that, and then we get the green one. So we'll just go ahead and unplug this and get this thing out of here. Okay, with that out of the way, now we're gonna have to unplug this one. And there's no clip on it. There's supposed to be too. This one doesn't want to come out, which means I just can't pull it by one hand. And then we got to get this guy off of here, and that goes to your battery. That's why I said disconnect the battery. And all this stuff here you could accidentally arc out. You take this off of there. This is like a captive nut. There's a piece of porcelain, and then there's that. So just keep that in mind when you remove it. So as you can remember, let's get those tucked up out of the way. And then we need to get the map hose off. And then we'll start undoing the boots. And we'll undo that. We'll get this coupler off of here. All right, I'm gonna try to put, like, the little tripod over here to film some of this stuff, but I'm gonna get in here. I couldn't find my hose clamp pliers. I just use regular ones. Let's go in there. It should come off fairly easy without you scratching the living piss out of yourself on something else in here. It's good to have a long screwdriver here to get to these clamps on the boots. And I need to go get some rags here in a little bit, because when you pull this out, you're gonna need to, let's get that off of there. You may have to smack this thing. Okay, it seems pretty stuck, but I need to get to this other boot, which I don't see clamp to. I guess it must be over there. And I'm gonna have to move my stool thing. But I mean, basically this is the hard part probably. That and a couple of the other. This thing is like absolutely fucking filthy. And before I pull it, I need to get in there with a rag and clean it. So let me show you over here. So that's the clamp that we're dealing with. All right, so I tried to clean it a little bit, but it didn't do a whole lot of good, so we're just gonna have to live with it. Probably cleaning it will make it worse. So, okay, so we get those two loose, and I think that's everything on this. So what we need to do now is we got to get that to move, and I'm not sure why it's not moving. I'm probably going to get a rubber mallet here in a second and go ahead and give it a whack. Give me a second. All right, I gotta get one. All right, we're back. Okay. It's starting to turn. Problem is that the part where it's on the turbo is kind of stuck. So people have said you'll probably have to pry up on these. I got a little piece of wood over here. I don't want to pry too hard, but I'm like, So we can't get this clamp off, though. We're not gonna. It's got to come off. And that's just a hose clamp, whatever you want to call it. But let me get a screw gun over here. There we go. For some reason, I didn't think you'd have to open it that much. Okay. Might have to get it even more. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, see that? Yeah, now we can get it. Okay. There we go. And there's that. Filthy as it is. Boy, there's oil in that thing like you wouldn't believe. And be careful with it so that you don't trash it. And then I'll probably just use paper towels because I know they're clean. Shove them down in there. Because I've got some shop rags, but they seem to have stuff on them, debris. There is some large screens on these. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time with this thing. Like trying to clean up a 412,000 mile motor, you know. Just trying to make sure we just don't get anything bad in it. Like right there. And then I'll do it, they'll come out here later on with the blower, blow all this shit out. Okay. So basically, that's probably the easy part. Now we just pull the bolts on a couple of other things. So we're going to need to do the connector on the pedestal. We'll do that last because we're actually we're going to be pulling the turbo first. So we got to get in here, and we got to get that V-band clamp off of that one. And should be able to get in there. And these all seem to be like a really tight fit with an 11 millimeter, so I'm not sure what size they actually used. Everybody else says 11 millimeter, but I think it's not. I think it's a standard SAE size. Okay. It's on good. Starting to come around. We're probably gonna I'm going back and forth. Okay. And it's because of the heat and stuff like that why we had that problem. But I don't know how loose this thing needs to be. Really pretty loose. I'm gonna give it a spray of something, so we'll be back. Now, there's a little secret somebody taught me a long time ago. An old dude said, if you don't have WD-40 or something like that, you can actually, believe it or not, use water to help break away a bolt. Because it gets in there where it's all like nasty and shit, and it washes out like the grime. But it also helps break it free because it moistens it. So one time at the junkyard, that's exactly what I had to do, because there wasn't anything else around. I didn't have anything. And I was actually surprised at how well it worked. I was taking the lift kit off of a Chevy Suburban. And these are like, you know, the big bolts and stuff. I had this in here like that. I think this thing's broken. God damn it, I believe so. So it's fucking broken. And we're in deep shit right now because we have a broken V-band clamp. Oh man, fucking Jesus. So I'm not exactly sure what the hell happened here, but it's broken. Absolutely fucked. It seems that way anyway. Or maybe not. But the thing is spinning. And I think what it is, yeah, it's spinning because it's got the little hooks that go in the back. So we'll see if we can get in here. See, everybody else's video, they don't show you this crap. They're like, oh. Alright. Yeah, okay. And now, so let me see if I can show you guys what's going on, because this isn't going to be very good if it do it like this. So you see that clamp right there? If it goes all the way through like that, it's gonna spin in the back. So you need to pull it forward. And this clamp's probably gonna need a good smack to come loose, because I mean there's a lot of heat back here. So let me see. I can't really get in here. All right, we're fighting the clamp. The clamp is kind of baked on there. I'm gonna have to get something to pry on it. It's just stuck. So it's gonna be like the other one where you're gonna have, it can bend a little bit, but not a lot. So that's just how it's gonna be. We just gotta get it loose. So we'll be back. I don't want to gouge it up, so I'm gonna try to smack it with this piece of wood. Wood is stuck in it. It's like it. Yeah. It should be moving. I mean, like, but it is like stuck on here good, guys. Like really stuck. All right, well, I got in here with the cat's paw. I went like that. I got that one. It is not. Okay. We're gonna get in here again. Yeah, it doesn't want to. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful here. Okay. So we got that part, and the other part is stuck up here. I can see it. I'm just I'm having trouble because I can't hold the flashlight at the same time and do all this. There we go. Okay. A little tricky there. A little tricky. All right. So now the turbo is free as far as that's concerned. And now we need to spray those bolts that go into the pedestal, guys. This is going to be probably not a lot of fun. And I just cut myself on the chrome of the grill of the truck. If you've ever done that before, you know it sucks. So we're gonna get in here and spray this stuff. I gotta be careful not to cut myself on stupid shit. This is the worst can of spray I've ever had. It like leaks down into the can, like where, you know, it dimples down, and then it like fills up in there. I don't know why. Anyway, let's see, what size bolt is that? Looks like a 13 or 14. I believe it's a 14. Let me see here. I've got a 14. Ready to go. It's not 14. Right. I don't think I'll break it loose that easily, do you? Well, it's definitely 13, so we can try with a quarter drive, but I don't think it's gonna work. But maybe. And what I'm afraid of is smacking my hand on this and cutting my hand, because that's usually what happens to me. It appears to be pretty well stuck on there. In fact, I might have broke the ratchet. All right, so I went and got the cornwell. Like, I don't know how long this fucking ratchet is, but we'll see if we can get in there with it. I can't really get in there really well with it either. So, oh man, there it goes. feels. Like, because I think I probably have trouble getting in there with the half drive. Okay. So then I can get in there with a shorter ratchet. But yeah, that was really, I would suggest if you're going to do this job, if you spray that thing ahead of time. I just sprayed it like a couple of minutes ago. Now the back one, I don't really have a way to get to as far as spraying it. And that back one's going to be pretty hard. So the back one's going to be hard, guys. We don't have a lot of room, you know. And I don't know, I don't have like a stubby impact that would fit in there.